right, and welcome back, everybody. Oh my goodness, we made it up on the bird. We weren't 30 minutes late this time. We were only just 1 or 2 minutes late. We're going to get this thing going on time. Just give us a minute, right? It was worth the wait, though. If you have been hanging out in the waiting area and you've been wondering what's going on, or maybe I probably heard DeRon, like, people, just hyping it up in the chat area. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. Mr. DeRon Talley of Key Marketing Solutions is here. Welcome. We're so happy to have you here. I call him a guru, a master of all things marketing. So much to learn from this gentleman. We know what we're here for today, and that is to inspire entrepreneurs, give them a pathway, some guidance as far as branding and marketing is concerned, and anything else that may come up. I mean,
right.
Whenever we talk, I feel like the conversation can go in any number of directions, but usually it's one that's very uplifting and inspirational. So we appreciate you being here today. Thank you so much. Again, for those of you who are new to it, this is Global Entrepreneurship Week, brought to you by the School of Business and Technology. I'm Ryan Pearson. Again, this is Mr. DeRon Talley, and he's the one that you want to hear from. Mr. Talley, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what brings you here, some history behind LDCC, what entrepreneurial ventures you're a part of, all those things. I feel like you're into a lot of different things. So just let us know, man. Don't let me take all the credit. I want you to say what it is that you're all about right now.
Man, it's first off, man, thank you for being a friend and a brother to me, man, and an inspiration, not just to myself, but to all the young adults and adults that you encounter here in your role at LDCC. I can remember my first time really engaging Louisiana Delta Community College. I think it was like 2018 or 2019, where we did a quick video project with the Louisiana Small Business Development Center and LDCC back then, man, and looking at your skill set, your passion, your energy to just do something different. Man, I picked up on that right away, and I think we've had kindred spirits, from day one that we've even just seen each other and known each other, man. So first off, thank you, man, for inviting us.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. But, man, I'm DeRon Talley. I have an MBA, Master of Business Administration, from Louisiana State University, the Shreveport location. But I'm a proud husband. My wife, my beautiful wife, Patience Talley, here recently known in the community as Riri, Rihanna, bad girl Riri. She finished runner-up in the Twin City Ballet.
That's right. I heard about that.
Lip sync battle, and she rocked the show, man. And man, I'm so proud of her, not just for being bad girl Riri, but for the work that she does too in the community, man. She's the director of community centers for the city of Monroe. She's born and raised Monroe South, 110 Winsboro Road. Shout out Winsboro Road down in south side of Monroe. But together, she and I, over 10 years, we met 10 years ago, have been able to do some pretty special things. I'm originally from South Louisiana, a small town called Folsom, just north of New Orleans, St. Tammany Parish. Came to ULM as a freshman, ran track for a couple of years, made some bad decisions, got hurt, made some more bad decisions, and then finally got my self together a little bit my junior and senior year of my days at ULM, where I really put my pen to pad and became a true journalist. And from there went on to win journalism writing awards at the college level. Was fortunate enough to become an editor of a weekly newspaper in Downesville, Louisiana. Downesville was my second home. I was 22 years old, running their weekly newspaper as the editor. In 23, I was running 2 newspapers, Downesville and Gonzales. And so I did that for 3-4 years.
I mean, the entrepreneurial spirit was already there. If you're going to hustle like that, you might as well just, be your own boss. You're ready for it.
No, certainly. We running one newspaper is 24/7, 365. Somehow God gave me the strength and energy to run it 48/7, 365 because, man, running 2 in that part of the state, man, with petrochemical plants, they have explosions, they have this, the Sunshine Bridge are closed, car wrecks. In addition to, it's a good area for sports as well. There's a good high school sports population there between Downesville High and Dutchtown High, over East Ascension High and so forth. So it's just busy.
See, you're smart because, in your introduction, one of the first things you did was shout out your wife. She's actually watching right now. So smart move, brownie points, right?
Yes,
Patience Talley, thank you for joining us. She said #FunRow, Funrow's very own Riri. So congratulations on your victory. Or you said runner-up?
Runner-up. Yep,
hey, it's a
place.
victory in my book. It was better than
been.
what I would have done, let me tell you. But you know, it's funny you're talking about Donaldsonville and East Ascension and whatnot, and not to say too much, but now I feel compelled to say something about my wife, who's also from Ascension Parish as well. Yeah, she grew up in Gonzales, and so again, I feel like you. Without our significant others, there's just, you know, there's not us. We're not the same. We're not ascending to the levels that we are without that support system. We support each other, right?
That's right.
And, you know, we try to lift each other up. So definitely, I know this is what I knew was going to happen. We came on the show. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship. Oh, yeah, and by the way, we got to talk about family stuff too, right? But, man, you know, great. I'm trying to figure out how you had the bandwidth to do all the things that you did. You're teaching me things about you that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And so all those different elements, running different newspapers, and then you came out of that. And wait, that was after you were at ULM?
I graduated ULM in May of 2012. October of 2012, I was running the Donaldsonville Chief newspaper.
Gosh.
I mean, that 6 months in between there, though, wasn't easy.
So here's a question, right? So this is just a general, how do I do well in life? How do I do well professionally type of question. But we have students in our midst that probably have a lot of drive, but that assume that they have to ask permission. Ask permission to take over a company, to take over an operation, what made you think that you could just walk in there and just run the entire operation?
Training, being a sponge, working in the student newspaper at ULM. I was the sports editor, but I was also okay with being the first one there, last one leave. And so I got a chance to see ad sales on campus. I got a chance to see what they were writing about from the hard news. I got a chance to see what they were writing about in the featured lifestyle section. And then at the end of the day, I'm in class with these people. And so the competitor in me is, oh, I'm sports editor, but you're a lifestyle editor, you're a news editor. But truth be told, I'm the one getting all the A's in the journalism class. So I could really write what you write too. And believe it or not, and not to be, you know, arrogant or anything, but believe it or not, whenever it came down to writing my senior year of college, writing down those hard news stories, I remember the water ski team at ULM had won the world championship and then had underage drinking accusation, partying and so forth. They didn't ask the hard news because the administration wanted to expel the students. They had me go in there and interview those students, interview their parents, interview the Water Ski Association.
Wow.
To handle that investigative
reporting. That must have been tough, man.
So,
I mean, it's just a tough spot to be in. But you had to do your journalistic duty and uncover what was going on. Wow, man, wow.
So we've been, you know, fortunate to just be in position to get good training, good experiences. And then I'll say this too, man. It's about relationships, establishing relationships with good people. But first, I got to say, having a relationship with God. I got to throw my faith in there as well, because there were times in there where I may have been making good relationships, but God wasn't a part of it, and so it didn't work. Once I got that together, my faith in alignment with His will for my life, now when it got time to revisit some of those relationships, hey, I'm getting ready to retire. I think I met you at the Louisiana Press Association Awards. As a matter of fact, your student newspaper sat at our table. That was me. I'm getting ready to retire. I remember you. You were a good guy. Now, for 6 months, though, I couldn't get a phone call back, couldn't get an email response. Hey, can I just be a beat writer? Can I just be a photog? Can I just do anything? No. But until I started figuring out my faith and getting back in alignment, all of a sudden I get a call. Hey, I'm getting ready to retire. And I remember you from the awards, and would you be interested in taking my spot? Well, I'm 22. I know, but wait, I think this paper needs somebody young.
Wow. Man, how long did you hold on to that gig? I mean,
so I ran those two newspapers at the same time from age 22 to 25 before I got out, because at 24 I proposed to my wife on the sideline of the LSU-Alabama game in Tiger Stadium. She was an LSU cheerleader, and I was the journalist.
There's the thread, the same thread.
It all ties back down to the love, right? But once we realized that, hey, you know, you 48, 7, 365, we can make this work, because I'm a college student. But what happens when we really trying to settle down, have kids, have family, you know? And so we started looking at opportunity to either get closer to my family or closer to her family. and get me into more of a 9 to 5, 8 to 5 scenario. And it so happened that we ended up finding a home at ULM.
Now, are we closer to your family or her family at this
Her
point?
family.
Okay.
Her family. So she's from Monroe. I'm from, again, Folsom, Covington, St. Tammany Parish, which was about an hour from Ascension Parish, Baton Rouge. But to find a good quality job now, because I've made some pretty decent money, been able to get a credible name and reputation, I still want to go somewhere and make a good splash and make an impact in the community. I was vice president of the Rotary Club in Donaldsonville. I was vice president of the Chamber of Commerce in Donaldsonville.
You were everything.
I was doing a lot. I had, just in that short time, because of my energy in Donaldsonville during that time, was looking for young talent to turn over the reins to. And again, those relationships in Rotary, the Chambers of Commerce, that's what really introduced me and fed my hunger for Entrepreneurship Week, which is ultimately how I'm here today.
Wow. So your relationships in Rotary, you said.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other one?
Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce. That's what made you, because you saw.
I saw it. I saw how it worked.
All
I
these
saw how
businesses-
businesses were driving this entire community, not just the economy. Without small businesses, Pee Wee ball, rec ball couldn't even exist because they wouldn't have uniforms.
That's true. You have to have sponsors on those.
You got to have
That's right.
sponsors. Without the small businesses, we wouldn't have. They had Donaldsonville Stroll on the Avenue, took our sponsors. We had actually a Young Men of Character program. That's when all the business leaders came together and invested in the lives of 10-year-old, 12-year-old boys. And if they had B or C, not AB guys, BC guys, those who were on the borderline, that's who we invested in to figure out, hey, how can we turn you into AB guys so that you don't go into that next level of DF and ultimately dropping out. So we started targeting differently, and that all came from the mind of the business leaders in the community. And
Mentorship program.
Mentorship programs, man. And so that, I was like, I want to be a businessman. It ain't about one industry, how can I just get in position to make a difference with the resources that I'm able to generate?
Now, it's funny that you said, because I did pick up on something very important. You said that you were looking to settle down and have more of a 9 to 5 vision for your life, so that you could be available, you could start a family, and just, be able to spend time with your loved ones, right? But you're an entrepreneur. So apparently, I'm just wondering now, you've gone from that 9 to 5 lifestyle kind of back into the entrepreneurial space from what I know about you. And being an entrepreneur is not easy. In fact, a lot of times what people don't realize is that it takes more time to be a successful entrepreneur than it is to just come into work, clock in, clock out. I mean, no offense to anybody that's doing the 9 to 5 thing. I'm one of them, and I know that we could all talk about times that we've been, kind of on our computers, on our laptops after hours, it's 9, 10 o'clock at night. And instead of watching television, we're trying to advance. But so that happens in a 9 to 5 situation as well. But when your bread and butter is the small business that you own and operate, it's a little bit more pressure. And so how are we reconciling now? How's DeRon Talley reconciling the entrepreneurial life that you've chosen once again, or at least chosen seemingly full-fledged with Key Marketing Solutions, and trying to make sure that you still find that balance?
Well, the thing with entrepreneurship that I love about it, you dictate your own pace. You dictate your own profits. And so with that, I know the peaks and valleys, when it's time to grind and when I got time we're going to sit back and we're going to enjoy. Or, this weekend we're not going to do anything. Or this weekend we will go and shoot down in Baton Rouge at 2 o'clock and be down there for the 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock LSU Alabama game. Let's do it, because I already know 2 months ahead, 3 months ahead, which clients I need to renew, which clients are still in the sales funnel, or potential clients are in the sales funnel. And so I get to decide, when do I want to convert that? I have a lot more control. What I've learned from then to now is you still in control. You can literally work 24/7, 365 as an entrepreneur. There's never a time that you aren't doing something to benefit the business. And a lot of times I am in that. Even if I'm not literally sitting at a computer or literally sitting in front of a client, I could be in the shower still thinking about, okay, we got to change this process. We're going to redefine what customer service means. We're going to find inspiration washing my car. And so technically, you never really take that cap off or never really close their doors. But there are times that I strategically close the operation of doing business for clients so that I can enjoy my family, because what's building all of this and I can't enjoy it now? We've already done what we're supposed to do. If you've done it right, the foundation is get in business. Go ahead, set up your IRAs, set up all your retirement, all those things. Go ahead and set all that up now. Kids' college funds. We've already got all that established and set up. So I don't have to slave so that in 30 years we get to enjoy it. Well, physically, my body is falling apart. So I did all that for 30 years, and now my health has declined me to where I can't enjoy it. We believe that we can do it well now because we've already established foundation. My future, my wife's future, retirements have already been set up. When our children turn 18, those accounts have already been set up. So entrepreneurship created that opportunity for us to say, hey, get your foundation right. Because I didn't just go cold turkey entrepreneurship. Right. I kept a 9 to 5. I stayed with the state of Louisiana until I could, as I'm balancing to where when it's time to turn off any employment, then we can, and not risk, well, in 50 years or when I'm 50, when I'm 55, my wife and I right now, when we get 55, we can retire.
Wow. I mean, we came on the show, we were going to talk about branding and marketing, and we sort of did because you talked about conversion just for a second, but you're really giving us a thesis on how to move in very gently and methodically into the entrepreneurial space. And it's not like you had one of those moments where you said, okay, it's over, I'm quitting, I'm done, and I'm out the door, no plan, except that I have an idea and I'm going to go ahead and make it happen. And I'm going to be an entrepreneur. That wasn't what you did. You instead said, nope, let's take our time, let's build up, let's get our future together while the present is still happening.
That's
I mean, like, so how smart is that? All the entrepreneurs or future entrepreneurs that are watching this show right now recognize that it's not just about making the paycheck. It's not just about, coming home and being able to spend your money however you want to spend it. Discipline, which is something that Mr. Johnson was talking about yesterday. Again, in this conversation now, discipline is what you need to have in order to be successful. What you're setting up the IRAs, your retirement accounts, and all those things, you're feeding into that stuff so that you won't have to be as concerned later on down the road. In fact, I know some entrepreneurs who they get the check and they're not thinking along those lines. So we can get to a funding conversation, and it's just that.
Which is why businesses go out or close doors after 6 months, after 2 years, because that owner, that operator, he or she hadn't been able to see enough profits to start paying themselves. And so for 6 months to 2 years, imagine, because I got mad at my job, I'm going to start my own business now. But what foundation are you going to stand on? You can't self-fund that. You may be able to get a bank loan, but the banks, you got to start giving something back. And so that's why doors close. They lose operating capital. The cash flow don't match.
Wow.
So for us, to tie it into what we came to talk about, right? Branding, right, and marketing, what you do with your 9 to 5 can become a part of your self-branding plan and credibility, to where when you step off full time into your own venture, you have that credibility, because now a person can say, oh, I know DeRon. He's led this marketing department for so many years. It's not a surprise that he's doing his own thing. He's always, remember, we saw that brand everywhere. He had them everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, let me do that for your business now. Remember how I had them everywhere? I can put you everywhere as well.
That's right. Wow. Man, okay. So I have to ask, though, because you did step off, you do have at least one business that I know of, which is Key Marketing Solutions. The question, I said that right?
Yeah, that's
okay.
it.
I always like to ask this question of those that have kind of catchy names to their businesses. I think I already know the answer to this, but what's in a name? Why Key Marketing Solutions? And then you have a slogan or a tagline as well. Can you explain that?
Yes, indeed. Key Marketing Solutions. And if you look at our website, it's patienceIsKey.company.co. But it ties obviously into my love life, into the thing I think about most. And when I look at what makes anything successful, it's understanding the pace or the movement. We talk about, oh, I'm not successful. How do you know it? Did you spend enough time in it? Did you give up too soon? Did you stay too long? Right?
Yeah, that's true.
And so time really can dictate whether or not, or be an indicator of what success looks like. We can look at LeBron James' career. We can look at Michael Jordan's career and say, well, LeBron's more successful, but look at the difference in time. You know, how many years across that success were they successful? Well, Jordan retired, he was a bum, but how many years time passed since he had his peaks, and you know, and so you can look at success based on time. In marketing, I have, you know, potential clients that I turn down if they'll say, hey, honestly, I just want to try something for 2 or 3 months. There's nothing we're going to be able to show you in terms of success from a marketing perspective in 2 or 3 months.
Too fast.
It's impossible. Now people can, I got you in front of X amount of people and this and this and this. But you don't even know if that came from what you was doing before you hired me or contracted us. You can't make that decision yet.
So that's a good question then, which is probably the one you're going to answer. How far out should your strategic plan be as far as marketing is concerned? At least a year, I'm assuming, if not more.
At least a year. You can't start a marketing strategic plan shorter than a year. Your first 3-4 months, you're trying to figure it out. What can I do to attract and capture? Then, okay, we're just starting to catch some rhythm. Now that I've attracted and captured, what can I do to nurture and ultimately convert those persons that we attracted and captured? Okay, now you got to go back and say, what worked? What did we say? What did we do? What did we share and show that attracted them and really captured them and made them want to give us some information? When we got that information in that nurturing stage, what do we do with it? Did we have to do cold calls? Did we have to do certain hashtags? Did we have to do email campaigns now? What did we really do to nurture that relationship and ultimately get them to convert? And then finally, okay, in a year, I've gotten a person to find out who we are. We call that attraction. Capture, be willing to give us their name, their email address, their phone number. Allow us to engage them in some type of dialogue messaging, whether it's, again, phone call, email thread, or in person, face-to-face. And then now that they've converted, I got to expand that relationship into year 2 to say, I know you want to buy. You've been buying from me. What I got to do to keep you buying. And so that's at least a 12-month process just in the buyer journey and what we use. And when I just broke down to you guys the marketing tactical strategy that we use every single day. You heard it. We're going to attract you, capture you, nurture you, convert you, and then we're trying to come back and expand on it.
Okay. There it is, folks. You can stop watching now, go back, rewind the tape, and then take that nugget and go forth and prosper, basically. Yeah.
No, but that's ultimately what we're after. And so when we talk about patience is key. Obviously, my wife's name is Patience. She is key to my life, but that patience also is key to marketing solutions. Your marketing solutions is going to be understanding what the key is, and it's that pace, it's that time. If we get geeky and real techy, talk about search engine optimization. People will tell you search engine optimization. Once we put that into your optimize your website for search engines to read it better. Search engines got to go back and scan your site. You got to find out when that's going to take place. Then they got to scan it in a way to make sure that it makes sense to the robots, to the bots, but also how are the humans responding now to this new information. And so that process takes time. Search engine optimization, again, is content plus time. Marketing solutions, marketing success, content plus time. But it all starts with your business plan. I tell people, give me your business plan. I just want to do something real short. Give me your business plan. I don't have a business plan. So who am I supposed to attract and capture? You don't even, everybody. Not everybody go to Walmart, but you think everybody gonna come do business with you?
Right. It's a fair statement, right? You got to be prepared for anything, and we want to use a shotgun approach. Mm-hmm. We want to just say, okay, wait a minute, I want as many clients as I can handle. But sometimes there's a difference, and I think you told me this, between having a bunch of clients, but then also having the right clients that you can work well with. Tell us about that. Man,
see, it's too close to one, so I'm gonna make sure I'm very careful. I had a client, great opportunity for Key Marketing Solutions to work at this level in this type of industry, just because we know, probably billions of dollars go into this industry, and it's a seasonal industry. Working with this particular client, though, there was no price that they could pay me to make me deal with, and my team deal with what they were, saying and doing. I mean, we'd have scenarios where I'd get a message at 8 o'clock at night. Your photographer can leave now.
What?
I'm so sorry. What, has he done something wrong? Oh, no, he's done a great job. Okay, great. I call, hey, client is satisfied. Great job. They said you can go ahead and go home early. All right, appreciate it. 10 minutes later, where's your photographer? We need him here now to get some photos.
Okay.
Let me just see if he happened to be in the parking lot and see if you, hey, man, where you at, man? I'm already on the interstate. Don't worry. Enjoy your evening. Thank you, man, for doing that for me. Call the client back. He's already gone. A week later, client comes back. I don't know if this is going to work for us because, I mean, we're just not satisfied with the service. I mean, your guy didn't even stay for the whole event. Excuse me, ma'am, you told him to leave. Oh, yeah, that's right. You know what? Ooh. If you need to find local representation, by any means, go get it. We are good. We are good. The potential that type of relationship and working in that industry could have done for Key Marketing could have been phenomenal. Could have put us in another level of being able to attract another industry. However, if that means working with people like that, we'll pass.
So selectivity. Yeah, I hear you. I understand. Selectivity seems to be key as well as patience being key.
Certainly. We want to be able to triage and even more now. This was our first time really getting introduced to that industry. And so looking back and understanding and self-reflecting as a company on the emotions that's involved and so many different variables that's involved outside of business, and then those individuals trying to make business decisions, we're not necessarily ready to do that unless we do an extensive amount of triage, maybe tweaking some language in our service agreement on some things. And so that just showed me I can't treat every industry the same, even in the service agreement, because that was 8 o'clock. I know I got a call. So my guy is out, in another part of the state, photographing for an event, and you're going to just say, oh, they can go now. You putting them back on the road in the late evenings of the hour, late hours of the evening and so forth on. I'm responsible for these people.
Right.
And so I'm not, and so I pull my team out of situations like that. Even in some other scenarios, I've said, you know what, I'll deal with this from the relationship side. I deal with all the clients from the relationship side, but there are some others that I said I'm also going to deal with it on the operational side where I do some of the work as well, because I will not allow any of my clients to discourage or deflate my team, because you're not our only client. Right. And if they feel defeated and deflated, they're going to lose creativity for the rest of the work that they have, and I can't afford that.
And what's interesting, I mean, we think about, I know when I first started with small business and just thinking about what can I do, what can I bring to the table, I'm thinking about me. What can Ryan Pierce bring that would be of benefit? But I love how you're talking. You're beyond just the me phase, and you're going into how can I bring other people in? How can I make other people involved? How can I bring people on my team, and help them to establish themselves?
That's right.
And so that's talk a little bit about for the new, the person who's thinking about running a small business. How do you transition from it's my small business to it's our small business, or it's a team effort? How do you get to that place?
You have to think about scalability. I'm one person. There's only so many phone calls I'm going to be able to take while developing this website, while posting a few social media posts for different clients, while trying to edit a little video, while trying to create a few graphics. And in all of that, you in business, the law of diminishing returns.
That's right.
And we can't risk that. My wife said it the other day. We were at brunch on Sunday with her sister and one of our other friends. And Patience literally said, at Key Marketing Solutions, you have to be perfect. And I said, exactly right, because we're not representing Key Marketing Solutions. We're representing whatever client we're on at that time. And their customers are judging them. Their customers don't judge us. It's as like easy as you would think that sounds. That's the hardest thing you got to understand is their customers don't even know Key Marketing Solutions is back here. They only see so-and-so.
That's right.
Bob's law firm, Tina's hospital, whatever. That's the only thing their followers and clients are seeing is that.
Yeah.
And so if we're taking the credibility away from them, ultimately now that impacts us because it's only so many, we can lose. And so when I train my team, and I learned this again from journalism school at ULM, we rather be second and right than first and wrong. Take that second to get it right. I applied that when I was running my newspapers. I won nearly 24 Louisiana Press Association awards. Very rare did I get a breaking news story of the week or of the year of the month because, when I put my story out, I guarantee we have more details. And so, the Advocate of Baton Rouge or the Times-Picayune New Orleans may come into Ascension Parish and break that news. All they got is 3 or 4 lines. But by the time our paper put it out, we got a true story that a person is able to read and understand who, what, why, when, where, how. And so take that second and get it right. Those details matter.
Yeah.
And so
you took that and brought it again to your business, which your business happens to be, again, if nobody's picked up on this, marketing, strategic communication, and all things that fall underneath that.
That's
so
right.
Now let's speak, though, because you've been very good about talking about how marketing and branding works and strategy works from as if you're a marketing professional, as if you're running a marketing operation. But let's talk about, let's say you're a small business owner. Maybe you have a small mom and pop shop that sells furniture. Maybe you are going into going to be doing hair or barbering, which in fact just yesterday the barber styling group from LDCC had a professional development day, and it was great to hear those small business entrepreneurs, coming in the space and talking about what it'll take and kind of giving those students tips and tricks on how they can be successful. But, there's so much support, as has been said a few times already, that small businesses give to other small businesses, that give to larger businesses, et cetera. When we think about branding, give us some key thoughts about branding. And I want to really focus in on, if we can, at some point, the business owner. And you touched on it a little bit earlier. When do you brand yourself as the owner versus when are you branding your own company? Or is it a mix? Or how does that all flow? What's the difference?
So I have a different philosophy, believe it or not, in terms of branding. If you look at any of my social media accounts, you're not seeing me forcing down anything in front of you other than I love life and I love God, I love my family. You're going to see me, my wife, my kids, and us doing family things. You're not going to see me throwing a lot of key marketing solutions. Let me do your social media. Let me do your web. You're not going to see that. I pastor a church. You're not going to see me, come join my church, be my church, my church. You're not going to see me doing a lot of that. You're not going to see me doing a vote for this, vote for that, Republican, Democrat. You're not going to see me doing any of that. I just believe in showing you my character and my reputation. And in that's the conversation starter. And in that, they'll say, so what do you do again? Why? I've already checked you out, man, and you got a beautiful family. I'm willing to trust you with my baby, which is my business. I'm willing to trust you with my brand. I'm willing to trust you with helping my company grow and succeed so that I can enjoy my family the way you enjoy your family. You must be having some type of success because I see you and your wife and your kids flying across the country, going to Alabama games, going to ULM games, going here and going there. So you must have figured something out that can allow me to have that type of lifestyle also. And that for me, that's the value. We recently just put key marketing solutions on Facebook. We still don't do any active advertising for key marketing solutions other than stand up character and being honest and transparent with anybody and everybody.
So you're saying that the business is underground. You have to find you. We have to
pretty much
search you out.
And again, that's part of that triage process, right? I don't necessarily want to spend time with tire kickers, but I do have what I call micro business clients that are, bootstrapping, and I recognize that, but I understand the heart and the purpose, and I'll make those decisions based on my belief in that purpose and that passion of that entrepreneur or the vision of what that company can do for our community. So for the branding as a business owner, look at ways that's not my products in your face, because nobody want to feel like being sold to. People want to be a part of something that's valuable, though. It's a difference. People don't want to just be sold to, but they're willing to reach out for some type of value or being a part of something that offers value.
Value and maybe even momentum. If you say like, oh, this is, like you said, this is a good guy. I trust that he's going to bring value and also some type of integrity to
right.
what he does on the business side, because like you said, you sort of showcased what you're about on your personal pages, and that fed in the opposite way to the business. That's interesting.
That's right. And the reason somebody says, what made them finally create a Facebook page? Because we want to show key marketing solutions. Again, we're not going to use that page to say, let us build your website. We're going to use that page to say, we had a great time at Twin City Lip Sync Battle where we were a table sponsor. We had a great time at the ULM Greek Show Step Show where we were a sponsor. We're going to show our philanthropic arm and our community giving arm, our investing back into this community arm, so that when a person looks up Key Marketing Solutions, it's not, they do all this stuff, I don't need it. It's, this company is interesting.
And they still have to have a conversation with you about, well, what is it that you do since you're being philanthropic?
I'd rather you talk to me about it and say, man, I saw that y'all were sponsors at this event. I saw that y'all gave to this group. I saw that you set up a jacket giveaway. Wow, that's awesome. And because of that, they'll trust us with their business, because now we're not just paying him and giving him $1,000 a month. We know he's probably going to take a piece of that $1,000 we gave him and do good in the community with it.
Wow, like socially conscious marketing.
That's where we at.
That's very interesting. So I hope everybody that's listening is like paying attention to this, right? I mean, again, we came into this space thinking, okay, we're going to get some nuts and bolts. And these are the nuts and bolts, but they're coming out in the form of story and in examples, and that's beautiful. So if we were to turn it back to, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm looking for some nuts and bolts strategies that you can give away, maybe in a more direct fashion. You can't give away all your secrets, right? Unless we're paying you. But talk about some maybe things that small businesses want to think about when it comes to comes to marketing, as opposed to like innovative promotion of products and services and things like that, and how to get those conversions. Because we can always put advertising out there, but how do we turn the attention and the interest and even the desire to do business into actual action and conversions? No,
certainly. And I always tell people, I mentioned it earlier, go back to your business plan. If you don't have a business plan, get one, because you have to know who you're talking to. When you know who you're talking to, you'll know whether or not I need to spend more time on Facebook or TikTok, more time on LinkedIn or Instagram or Twitter. Let your dream of what your business was from the beginning, because that's when you were fresh. That's when you were, ooh, I'm so excited. Ooh, I got this solution and they got the problem. Whoever you had in mind when you said they got a problem and I got a solution, think about that person. Know that person. Know what they look like. Know what they smell like. Know how much money they got in their pocket. Know if they married, got kids, what side of town they live on. Because now you know where they are. When you know where they are, you'll know what social platforms you need to be on, or we don't need to be on social media. These are the type of people that I just need to go and put some flyers in the windshield wipers.
I was going to ask you, because you were going on about social media, and I was going to say
TV ads. You still need radio ads. You still need newspaper, print ads, magazine ads. You still may need a billboard ad, depending on where your customer is, who your customer is. But also social media and internet. And so one of the things that we've been pressing more on for those individuals who say, listen, the whole Facebook boosting thing, I've been putting $300 and $500 a month on Facebook boosting, and it's showing me a lot of reach and impressions, but I'm not getting no traffic to my website. I'm not getting no traffic to my storefront. I'll ask the question, who are you targeting? Well, I just did the 50 radius. Okay, is there any way we can get a little closer? They won't typically know. And so we actually have a platform where we're able to do geofencing and create conversion zones to start showing clients where their interested or potential clients really are. And I can prove that.
Time out. Geofencing?
Yes, sir.
Now, I heard of a game a long time ago. There was like a geo caching or so. I don't know. It's something that people used to do. But this is geofencing. Can you give us a definition of what that is, more or less?
So a geofence is a geographical fence that you just can't see. And we'll just define it as simple as that. A geographical fence that you just can't see. And we use it in the digital space, in the internet space. I can put a geofence around Louisiana Delta Community College. I can put a conversion zone from that fence just on the Advanced Technology Center. But what am I fencing? Your ads, your messages, even your videos, to where individuals, when they come into this geographically fenced in area, when they enter that area, they get cookies on any device they have on them, whether they are on the internet or not. Offline data, I can still tap into the device, feed your ads by placing a cookie on their phone. So by the time they go home and say, what was that company name that spoke at this presentation at Delta? Oh, wait a minute. Now I'm getting these ads all the time. I'm on knoe.com and I'm seeing these ads. I'm on the monroenewsstar.com and I'm seeing these ads. And it's all because I went to that event at Delta. That's weird. My phone is, Big Brother's watching.
That's right.
That's us. And we're able to track that and show our clients how many people walked into that zone, devices we tapped onto, and did they click? Did they see the ad and click on the ad to come to your website and create that conversion zone, which would mean if you're an e-commerce, we're able to put that same cookie and follow you all the way through the shopping cart to say, no, they actually purchased. Wow. And so we're getting more strategic in our targeting, so that we can always show value to the client.
So let me ask you this then. Our computer equipment and our digital infrastructure makes it possible to do geofencing.
Correct.
And it seems like a really, really cool tool. What if you're in areas that are relatively depressed as it relates to digital equity? You know, they don't have I don't hardly have internet access now. How do you? I guess every place, for lack of a better way to think of it, probably has some cell tower somewhere, and people have cell phones. But you know, there's a big initiative. You know, broadband, pushing all that out there to everywhere. So the whole state is blanketed, right?
Yeah.
But in the interim, if you need to market in some of those environments, you know, and you don't have as much of a technology backbone, what are you thinking that you're going to do there?
So for us, a couple things. Again, we can also look at offline data, right? Where we're able to, if you just have a phone, if you just have a TV, and we understand not everybody has a smart TV or a laptop in the home, but even that means when you go to your library, even when you go to your schools, but a lot of people have at least cell phones, and all the cell phones come with 4G, LTE, 5G. Whether they have data on the phone or not, we're able to tap into. We're also able to go into longitude, latitude. So it's not even about your address. If it's a depressed area or rural area, we have billboards that are over a river, and we'll put a fence around that just to see how many impressions you paying X amount because the billboard company told you that it cost them more money to send the boat out to put the billboard up, and they're going to tell you that, you know, X amount of cars and people are coming by there. Give me 3 months and I'll prove it to you what the impressions are, and then you tell me if this billboard is the best use of your funds. And so we're helping our clients make better use, not to steal business from anybody, but don't mislead. We're here to be to inform, inspire, and invest. Those are the 3 tenets of Key Marketing Solutions. We want to inform our clients on the ins and outs, kind of like this conversation right here, on what marketing should look like or could look like. We want to inspire our clients, though, right? Inform our clients, but what we're doing should inspire our clients through the activities of what we're doing for our clients. And ultimately, we want to take what we do resource-wise and invest it back into the community. And so whether or not a person has access to quality technology or not, that doesn't necessarily limit our strategical, tactical reach. Additionally, if they were to, when they come from whatever remote part of Northeast Louisiana and drop into Vicksburg or drop into Monroe. Gotcha.
Right there.
Been waiting on you.
Gosh. Oh man, I had a question that came to mind, and then, as you can probably tell if you're watching this, the lights keep going off in here. I guess we're not moving enough. I thought we were, we had some groovy music at the beginning, and we were dancing and everything, but I guess the sensor doesn't quite pick us up. So, how much? This was the question. A lot of times, people think about marketing and they think about it from the creative aspect because that's the part that draws us in, art, music, spoken word, and those things. How valuable is the data, and should that be driving your decisions?
Yes. As an entrepreneur, you don't have time to making bad decisions. You don't have time to be making ill-informed decisions. If you're spending time on, I'm going to spend 2 hours every morning getting on Facebook and putting posts out because I don't have an assistant, I don't have anybody, I'm a one-man shop, and you're spending 2 hours on Facebook. But if you look into your Facebook dashboard and insights and analytics and see that none of your people are on from 8 to 10 because Facebook will literally tell you peak hours that your followers are online, and you were thinking, I'm starting my day off on a good foot. 8 to 10, I'm getting that Facebook post out every day. And Facebook says, but your people are online from 6 to 7 p.m. because it's dinner time and they all work from now, and the kids are already home from school, and you thinking you doing something valuable when all you had to do is look at the data. The data is telling you that, hey, and so you can still get on Facebook from 8 to 10, but schedule it to go out from 6 to 7. Because if that's your schedule to say, I don't have time from 6 to 7 to do it, that don't mean still make a bad decision. We have technology, we have resources, and we have training opportunities such as this that can help. We'll walk you through, hey, if you can't afford us doing it, I'll coach you and tell you, hey, flip your schedule. Look at what your dashboard is telling you. Same with content type, right? And so we've gone in the last 10 years from just text Facebook posts to, don't post nothing unless you got an image, to now short form video, right, is where it's at. But let's say you're so caught up on, no, I'm doing it my way. But every time you put a text post out, you get 4 people reach. You put a graphic post out, you get 15 people reach. But the one time a year you put a video out, you reach 1,000 people. What is the data telling you? Go ahead and spend a little bit more time and do a little video. But what I've realized, I had a conversation with another business group about a month ago, a very dynamic group. I was so impressed with them, not to take anything away from them, but the first question I asked them was, how many of you are measuring what you're doing on marketing? They looked at me and said, I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't say measure, maybe confuse you. How many followers you have on your Facebook? Oh, I don't know. How many followers? I don't know. So you don't even know who's following you. You don't know if it's successful, if it's working. I said, so why y'all still posting if you don't even know who's following you or if anybody's following you?
Because it's the thing to do, right? That's what you do.
That's what we do. I said, you can't manage what you're not measuring. You got to measure it in order to manage it.
Say it again. Say that one more time.
You can't manage what you're not measuring. You have to measure it in order to manage it, period. And so that goes right back into patience is key marketing solutions. Over time, we're able to manage where we are or measure where we are in our attract and capture stage. Because we understand where we are, we can go back and manage it. What does that mean? We can make decisions and say, well, when we put it out like that, nobody was attracted. So let's manage that decision, change that decision, or, they actually liked it a little bit. Let's double down on that decision this next go round. Because we're looking at it and assessing it throughout the way. So data, man, has to drive. As an entrepreneur, you don't have time to be making bad decisions because we are lazy. That's what it boils down to.
Woo. Okay, we have a question from the chat.
All right.
And it is coming from Mr. Brian Johnson from KIEZ 106.7. Yes, he is asking, what's your opinion on direct mail / or postcards? And this is a part of the conversation, if we're backtracking to what do you do when there's not as much of a digital infrastructure? What are your thoughts on direct mail postcards, letters, flyers, different things like
Man,
that. How valuable is that?
Great question. And I actually have a lot of experience in it because I was in the newspaper industry. You talking print now, baby. You talking my world, my language. What is the biggest challenge with the print industry is that we lost being able to prove how many people were looking at advertising. Digital space, I can show you impressions, I can show you clicks, I can show you click-through rates, I can show you conversions. And so to Mr. Johnson's questions, if and or when you do a mail out, put a code on it that you can measure, right? You can't manage the success of it if you can't measure. Okay, the vendor you chose, the print company you chose, told you all you got to do is give us 1,000 mailing addresses, and we'll send it out to those. We'll design it, we'll print it, we'll stamp it, and we'll distribute it for you. And because you didn't put a QR code on it or a discount coupon code on it, how can you even know that they did it? How can you know that they did it, but as soon as the person hit the mailbox, sift, saw something unfamiliar, and even that person that was interested, you've now made it more difficult for them to stay interested because you didn't give them an easier step to get to you. Because I read this mail out now. Now how hard or how easy it is for me to actually get to you. So the process from getting mailer in hand to getting that person to you, it has to be clear and simple. Does that make sense? Yeah. So we do mail outs. Politicians will send us a mail out, and then they'll just tell us their platform. But you didn't put on here that I can call you and talk to you. And if so, you hid it in something else. And so did you really help me? Did you really give me anything of value? And so as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a marketing lead, I'm going to make sure that our clients, when we do that, and we have done that, we're putting a code. And every time that code is scanned, so we know they just hit the streets. We got the first scan. Mm-hmm. Oh, that person scanned, got to the website, but then bounced off. Okay, because now we're dealing with the law of averages. Now we're back in sales. Okay, I can live with that. But at least I know I got a way of measuring the success of this campaign. Don't just send out a mailer and just say, here's some content, here's some information, read it for your leisure. Man, leisure, people do it. You just got money to do it. But I'm trying to get a return on that investment.
So then that leads me to another question. How do you track advertising when, let's say you are a small business entity and your platform is to be a marketing company, and then you're selling ads like, I don't know, radio ads and TV ads, and what does it look like on that side of the house then to be able to tell your clients, is it more than just impressions? How do you manage conversions in those spaces and on the traditional terrestrial media, if you will?
Yeah.
Is it kind of the same way?
Yeah. So when you get at that level, we start redefining some goals. So if we're going to use billboard, then we got to understand what the goal of a billboard is. If we're going to use TV, we got to understand what that goal is and make it clear to the client, make it clear to us. That way, no one's frustrated at the end of the outcome, right? And so if we're going billboard, let's just talk brand awareness. We just want people to know red, white, and blue. We just want people to know that you exist. Over time, we'll build some type of synonymous whether slogan or icon or brand logo to that red, white, and blue over another period of time. Let's connect a phone number. And we see this through our attorneys, right? Between Mars Barton, Get Gordon. We know these things because they've introduced us these basic concepts. And now we can pass a billboard with our eyes closed and just see the structure of a few things and know which attorney it is.
That's right.
And so we take that same type of tactic and apply it across even TV, right? And so when we get into TV, how can we subliminally have the same type of jingle or tone to where even if I'm not in the room, I can hear that? And to where now, if I'm out in the community and someone is humming it, I know who we're talking about. And so it's just about giving people something to connect to, even in the traditional platforms, because that ultimately is what's going to drive the success of your brand.
I'm smiling over here because as you're continuing to espouse this wonderful information, we're getting all kinds of feedback. Dominic Penton says, "Let's go, key marketing team."
All right, Penn. That's my lead analytics guy and social media manager.
I think I know Dominic.
Yes, indeed.
I think we read. Paul Caliste. I'm assuming that's who that is. But Paul says, great job. Salute to both of us.
Yes, indeed. How you
And
doing,
then
Paul?
again, Brian Johnson comes back with, how soon are you going to publish a book?
So great question, and we're looking at our 2023 model as Dominique. We've been talking about that. We're gonna have a team meeting in December where all of the people that come together to make Key Marketing Solutions what it is, and it's all across the state. Other marketing companies. It's more than just me. It's more than just Dominique and Destiny and Takia, and we got web. And so we're gonna try and all come together and really look at what our 2023 looks like. We're getting ready to roll out a new website this month. We just launched a Facebook page. We're getting ready to show companies how to establish a true brand and identity in a rural part of the state in an innovative way. And so we're excited about it. The book, stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I feel like that was an excellent segue to the final question of the day, which is, if you have any last thoughts, any words of wisdom for the entrepreneur, somebody who's got an idea and it's got to come out, what are you giving them to chew on so that they can be motivated to continue on that pathway to innovation for themselves and the community?
I would say understanding how you define customer service. Yeah.
Went back to customer service.
Yes. In order to stay motivated as an entrepreneur and in all the things I've done, whether it's been in pastoring, whether it's been serving on various boards, and I wear many hats on many different boards throughout the state, not just here in Monroe, Washita Parish. And it's understanding that true value to the customer or to the end user of whatever program, whatever it is. If I know what that customer service is, if I know and understand it and believe in what that experience is going to look like, that's going to make me wake up every day and say, man, we got it wrong today, but we going to make sure we right this wrong. We did it. We knocked it out the park. How can we duplicate that? Because we like that feeling. We like when the client had that feeling. And you can ask Dominique a couple months back, we redefined how we even define customer service at Key. It's not going above and beyond for your customer, or it's not, the customer is always right. Mm-hmm. Customer service for us now is when other people are asking our clients, who did that? Who did that for y'all? We're not getting enough of those calls yet, and so we're not satisfied with customer service. When somebody else call our customer, and we get them, because if each customer we have in 2022 had one customer or one of their clients or one of their peers in the community, one of their church members in the community say, man, I've been following your company page. Who do that for y'all? That'll instantly double our revenue. And then the next year, double that revenue, and so forth and so on. And so that'll drive us just by making sure it's not about making them feel right all the time. Like I said, ma'am, if you need to go get local representation, go get it. Because we know we offering customer service. We know we've done enough and more than enough for people in your community, because when I physically had boots on ground there with this particular client, with one of my videographers, they had people come up to me and said, I saw how you just did that. I like the way you worked the room. We're going to be in touch with you once all this died down. I'm telling you, you're going to know me. My name is so-and-so. And I looked at my guy and said, remember what I told you about customer service?
Wow. And I think that's a perfect way to end it right there. So many good things. Again, I know I'm going to go back tonight and watch this and take notes, right? Whenever I get around you, DeRon, it's always a lot of positive energy, a lot of just real truths about, again, integrity, how to be just a good person, a good business person, how to live. And just thank you so much for the inspiration. I just feel like I want to do a project with you now. Can I join your team, right?
Let's do it, man.
So anywho, we really appreciate you being here for Global Entrepreneurship Week. It's our first one at LDCC School of Business and Technology. Thank all the folks that have been out there watching and participating. We're still getting messages as I'm trying to wrap this thing up, and I really appreciate everybody. just thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of
guys.
this particular initiative that we have going on. And I'm for sure, just like that guy said, or that whoever that was, that business person, you're going to know me. I'm going to call you again. So
Yes, indeed.
with that, we're going to get on out of here. Thank you so much, everybody, the viewing audience. We can't do it without you. And we'll see you at the next one, which actually is at 4 o'clock. We have a double header today. And so come back, right? Come join us for our 4 o'clock with Miss Christina Davis from the LSBDC.
Oh, my girl, Christina. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and with that, we're going to say, see you at the next one.
Patience is key.